All right. Welcome to the Indie Corner After Dark, where we not only talk about all things independent comics, but everything comics. I'm Mikey.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Christian.
And today, people, we're back again with another podcast. We're doing something a little different. This is something I've been cooking for a little bit. I want to do something casual, a nice casual talk show where we don't have to talk about just indie comics the whole time. We can just talk about whatever has been happening in the comics pop culture space. So thank you, Christian and Rebecca, for joining me on this.
Can we also acknowledge that Mr. Brooks is actually
Mr. Brooks,
here early?
Listen, Mr. Brooks out here.
Yeah, man.
He out here, fam.
We respect you.
He out here supporting, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about some Moon Knight. We're gonna talk about some George Perez, because obviously a nice little tribute to the man and his career. Some Fantastic Four-ish, a lot of ish is happening. All right, so yeah, we'll just get started on just first things first. We got I wanted to get the George Perez thing out of the way because this man was literally a legend in comics. So yeah, this is the rip George Perez segment, and then here's a little slide with look at this man and his nice little smile, man.
If you have a slideshow, we should play In the Arms of the Angel.
We should have made an AMV for this.
Listen, we should have. I think it would have been a nice. I don't know if I can listen to An Arms of an Angel, like the whole thing playing in the back. I can't.
We could have done like an Evanescence song.
Yeah, wake me up. That would have been better. I think that would have been a nice touch. But yeah. So we'll just get right into it. So yeah, George Perez, legendary comic book penciler, illustrator, who's been in the game since like the 70s. I'm starting out at Marvel during Avengers. He tragically tragically passed away on Friday, battling I believe it was pancreatic cancer, which he announced he was in stage 4 around sometime last year. Mr. Brooks like, yeah, don't play the song. You can't do it.
Too soon.
Too soon. Yeah, he was battling pancreatic cancer stage 4, and I believe the doctors only gave him like 6 months to live, but I think he lived a little bit longer than that. I mean, by like a few months. So,
respect.
Yeah, so he was able to beat the odds there. But we'll just go through his little like his work, his biography, all that stuff. So George Perez, an American comic artist, writer, primarily a penciler, was started off with prominence in the 1970s penciling the Avengers from Marvel Comics, a return to the franchise in the 90s. In the 1980s, he penciled the New Teen Titans, and as well as books such as JLA Avengers, like the only like crossover where Marvel and DC weren't beefing with each other, as well as penciling the iconic DC storyline Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is that's one of the most iconic DC events of all time. So yeah, man, he's been out here. He's been literally he's worked on literally every character you can think of, every event, almost like every prominent event you can think of. And like here's like a little bit of slide of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and just his artwork. The thing is and it's tragic also because we lost Neil Adams as well, like the week before, who was also an iconic, legendary comic artist as well. But with my take with both what they share in common with how I know them is that you can't not know Neil Adams and George Perez if you're a comic book fan. It's impossible because totally right, Christian, because
everyone knows how much I'm a big fan of this guy.
Exactly.
Love this man.
Exactly.
I'd kill for this man.
But yeah, listen, we all would have killed for this man.
Yes.
But because they've done so much with their work in comics as artists that even if you don't know them by name, you've seen their work around. There's no way you've not seen Crisis on Infinite Earths, especially this cover right here where it's the Earths and the worlds colliding with each other, and you have all these superheroes and stuff with one big fight. I think it's awesome, and these guys weren't my direct references, but I've always seen their work around, and also there's the next slide, obviously we got New Teen Titans, and I was explaining to Christian before we started that this introduction to Teen Titans is this generation was a generation we're known to we've grown up with, because this city has the introduction of not only with Beast Boy and Cyborg and Raven. They were created for this series, and they're synonymous with the Titans, to this day, which is great. But also, he's also known for working on his run on Wonder Woman as well. Yeah, so that's a little bit of more what he did, and as well as JLA Avengers. And I've never read JLA Avengers, but I've seen this artwork before, and he was hella talented. This guy with his his penciling, his detail that he packed in with the characters. I loved his work, seeing his work around. So yeah, guys, what were your thoughts on
honestly, even in full screen, it just looks like a bunch of smeared colors. But yes, superheroes.
You want me to? I can full screen it. I can full screen. Maybe it'll be better. Yeah,
more big. Yes, 20% bigger.
But any thoughts on George Perez and the marculating comments? I know Christian is kind of new to the guy, but
I'm a huge fan of him.
Yeah.
Not on him specifically, but I was thinking about this earlier. A lot of the I guess you could call them like classic artists from I don't even know where to start. I would like 80s, 90s. Like they're getting up there in age,
Yeah, that's true.
So I would say now is the time to, just as a reminder, to like appreciate them while they're still around,
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Christian, you have anything to say?
Yes. As a fellow Latino, I too I feel a great loss for him. As you know, I had so much respect for him and admiration. I wanted to be him when I grew up, ever since I was a wee baby lad. But yeah, anyway, backtracking to what Rebecca actually said. Yeah, definitely the good time to fucking enjoy these people, because they're not staying for long. Very upsetting.
For sure. I mean, I'll say this as well, like just to add on. What I learned about him recently, that once he got his diagnosis, he decided not to undergo like chemo and treatment. He just wanted to like let it run its course, and he just took the time to just keep like stay with his family and be with his loved ones, but also like to keep doing what he was doing, like to do what he loved. Like I know DC had an event for him, Jim Lee, and like some of the classic guys that worked at DC at the time, just to like honor each other and just to celebrate what they've done. And yeah, man, you could tell that this man really loved both him and Neil Adams both like loved what they did, and they just they just cherished what they did until the end, basically. And the thing is, like, George Perez inspired a lot of artists that I look up to, like the Todd McFarlanes and like the Jim Lees and all that other stuff, So yeah, this guy had a very lasting legacy in the industry, which is crazy. And he was an amazing artist. He was super talented. So it's just Rebecca said, like, it's nice to appreciate. You have to appreciate these guys while they're here, and give them their flowers while they're here. So yeah, that's all I can say.
So don't forget to give a kiss to your local elderly comic book artist.
Yeah,
and let them know that you love them.
Exactly. But yeah, I gotta pick up the omnibus for New Teen Titans for sure, because I gotta read some of that stuff. Know what I mean? It's a good run. So yeah, so I mean that's basically that. I wanted to just keep it short and sweet. Just to pay respect to the man. He'll be missed. R.I.P. Rest in power. All that jazz. But yeah, so no other thoughts on George Perez while we're still talking about it?
Nah.
I don't think so.
All right, cool. So yeah, obviously, so the next thing we are going to talk about, people. So a little show kind of ended this week. Had a season finale and all that stuff. We're going to be talking about Moon Knight, people. The latest Disney Plus show that dropped, starring Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, May. I can never say her last name right. May Calamari.
Calamari.
Yeah, Calamari. I don't know. Not that last one, but I mean, I'm gonna say Calamari for right now.
Okay.
But yeah, people, Moon Knight. We're gonna be talking about Moon Knight. So if you haven't watched the show, we're gonna be going into spoilers. I want to get right into the nitty gritty with the show. I'm not holding back.
After
Yeah,
It's
so,
good. Recommends. 10
Yeah,
out of 10.
yeah. I mean, who wants to open it have an opening thoughts on what they thought of the series as a whole? I don't want to like if we're gonna break down the episodes stuff like that. We'll talk about the series as a whole. What do y'all thought about it?
I'll go first.
Word.
Overall, I liked it. I think throughout the show, like as far as being consistent, it's probably one of, if not the strongest of the MCU shows.
Mhm.
I didn't feel like the ending was a disappointment. It made me more excited for the next season, probably than I was for this first season. Which the
Mhm.
other MCU shows, I feel like they kind of lose it at the endings.
Mhm.
I think that's all my thoughts for an overview.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Rebecca. It was pretty good. Definitely better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Also, WandaVision.
Okay.
Also, whatever third other Marvel TV show that I'm forgetting right now.
I know Loki was one, but I feel like there was another two.
Right? I feel like we're missing something. But yeah,
What if?
Maybe
pretty good.
What If? Yeah.
What if? Yeah, better than What If.
Hawkeye as well.
Oh
Loki.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not better than Hawkeye. I enjoyed Hawkeye. A Christmas special. Better than most Christmas specials.
Gotcha. A Christmas special.
So good you couldn't even remember it.
Exactly.
Hawkeye, a Christmas
It's
special.
so great. You could only remember it during Christmas and no other time ever.
That's so funny.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my thing with Moon Knight. Right.
What's your thing, Mikey?
I feel like you have a hot take coming.
No. Okay, I mean, a little. Yes. Okay.
Here's my
Screw it.
thing.
Screw it.
Here's
Yes.
my
Okay.
beef.
Listen, I'm a big Moon Knight fan. This was one of my most anticipated shows of this year, especially when it was announced last year. And obviously, if you go back to Students of Shield, we had discussions on this before, so I'll put a link or something in there so you can check that out. But yeah, when they announced this show, I was super hyped. And then when you hear Kevin Feige talk about the vision for the show, he described it as an Indiana Jones type of adventure, and I'm just like, that's not how I know Moon Knight, because when I started reading Moon Knight, it was the Charles Houston, David Fincher in 2008, known as The Bottom, where it was very dark, gritty, vigilante, crazy person Moon Knight. Know what I mean? With supernatural elements to it. And that's what drew me to the characters, like that grittiness, that groundedness to the character. So that made me nervous. And then cast Oscar Isaac, I was like, okay, look, Oscar Isaac, a great actor, great choice. And Ethan Hawke as the villain, okay, Ethan Hawke's a good actor, great choice. And then the show came out, and the first episode, I loved it. I liked how they set it up, introducing, having, not having a non-linear approach, that was really cool. Especially with Stephen Grant character introduced. But here's the thing, though. Now, watching more of the episodes, it was very different from how I know Moon Knight. I know for a fact that I would have 100% done this show a lot differently. But I had to go back and use my comic book brain and be like, okay, wait a minute. This is introduction. They're obviously going more the super heavy on the supernatural aspect of the character, how he was introduced in the comics, because he was introduced in a werewolf comic, Werewolf by Night number 35 or number 32. Sorry, 32. So they'll in the future they'll go more that grounded vigilante route, and then watching the whole show, I'm like, I low-key kind of fuck with it. I fuck with the show. It's different. I'm not how I do it, but I like it. And obviously the big part of the why I like it is because of Oscar Isaac's performance. He did a great job what he was given. So those are my overall thoughts. I'm with the show. I like it. I would change some things around, but I like it.
Wait, Mikey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you in the camp that it's a good show but not a good Moon Knight show?
Yeah? Question mark? Granted, the ending for the show saved it. So, yeah, it's a good show. It could be a better Moon Knight show. It could, but granted, like thinking how it's like homaging the original origin of the character, his introduction. I'm like, okay, I can see why they went this route. So, yeah. we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I know for the fact that like if you want to like let's talk about what were your thoughts on each character. We'll go with Oscar Isaac first, I guess, like Mark Steven. What are your thoughts on him?
I thought he was really good acting wise in this show.
Mm-hmm.
He put his heart into a performance, and you can really see it when he like switches back and forth between the characters.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think in the first couple episodes, Steven's a little whiny at times.
Yeah, he is.
But other than that, I think especially during the latter half, the two of them together really works as they start to like come to an understanding,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes me like the characters a little bit better.
Gotcha.
You reminded me of that one scene. Well, actually, yeah. Let's put Mr. Brooks' thing first.
Yeah, I'll put Mr. Brooks in. Right. He said, the show was a roller coaster for me. Some parts were fun and entertaining. Other parts I literally skipped past due to boredom. Oof. Okay.
Ouch.
Okay. I could kind of see where you're getting at. Okay, Christian, continue.
Remember that one scene where Steven kisses the girl and it's super awkward?
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was the thing is like it's weird because how
just mushes his face into her face, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I guess."
Yeah, and it's even weirder because the way him and Steven interact, like Steven's constantly watching what Mark's watching what Steven does. So it's like, why would you kiss his girl when he knows you're doing it? It's weird, because they're aware of each other. So
maybe he's into it. Maybe Mark's a cuck.
I don't know, man. But yeah, like I'll say this, right. Episode 1, I really loved. I loved the introduction to Steven because again, they're going more of like a character discovering himself rather than just like we introduced Mark's origin, then we introduced the temple stuff, then we introduced the Moon Knight stuff. No, it's a very non-linear approach, and I think it's very well done. How Steven, is the guy that no one really pays attention to, kind of like the loser, who has a quote unquote sleep disorder, but obviously we know that the character suffers from DID. And then him, just getting introduced to Arthur Harrow, played by Ethan Hawke, and all that stuff. I liked Oscar Isaac's performance. I think what Rebecca said, the way he seamlessly goes into the personalities, go to Mark and Steven, I think is really well done. And it's the way he does it too, like you can tell that like, yeah, both of these, they both feel like full-fleshed characters, not just like aspects of the whole, which is what DID basically is. They're separate identities, not just an aspect of the whole, not just fragments of the whole, and because they had like Steven had his own ambitions and his own motivations, and Mark had his own ambitions and motivations. Steven was a bit whiny, but then I like how towards the end we're like throughout the course of the show when they like start getting used to each other, Steven gets more confident in himself, especially towards the end of the episode. At the end of the last episode, I loved it. Especially like, I don't know, how did y'all feel that the whole costume situation, the fact that like, because in the comics, Moon Knight and Mr. Knight, obviously you see them here on the screen, they're both separate personalities, but in this one they're just costumes that are supposed to represent Mark and Steven. I don't know, what were your thoughts on that change?
I got nothing. Rebecca?
I think it's fine since there's still like I don't read Moon Knight really. I've like seen stuff about the comics, but I haven't like actually sat down and like read the books. I think it's fine for what they're going for. Yeah, I bet some people are probably disappointed that it wasn't full on like Mr. Knight and like Moon Knight separate.
Yeah.
But for what the show's doing, I think it's fine.
It makes it easier, honestly. It would have been way too like complicated, especially for an intro to the character, to like have them just be separate personalities and all that stuff. I think it streamlines it a bit. It makes it easier to understand. But yeah, no, I thought Oscar Isaac did a great job as the character for sure. I'm gonna put a little image because I'll stop sharing this real quick. Put a little image of my favorite image of them because I think it's great. Let me stop sharing and just I think Oscar did a great job. What were your thoughts on Ethan Hawke's character, Arthur Harrow? What are your thoughts on him?
He doesn't exist in the comics, right? Or wrong?
He does, but like in a very like small Moon Knight run.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest. I
Mhm.
still don't quite understand how the bad guy works.
Mhm.
Like, I don't understand the
Wait.
cutoff between you're so bad you need to die now and you're like good. You know, I don't get it.
Oh, like why he's the actual bad guy and not Moon Knight?
Well,
Is
no,
that
like them trying to explain, like, oh, we're gonna kill all the like bad people before they can commit crimes, but then they're just like killing everyone unless they're like on their bad guy killing team. I don't get that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know. I wish they would have fleshed out on like. I mean, they kind of did say why he wanted to, just to spite Khonshu, I guess. I don't know. You know
I
what?
understand the like characters' motivations, but I don't understand like the big picture plan there.
He from what I got from it, he just wanted a perfect like utopia where like like the world was only filled with good people and like no one can do wrong. But then like because that's because he's serving Ahmet and all that stuff. Which again, I don't know if this Rebecca, you know. Were you getting like Civil War II vibes between the whole Khonshu and Ahmet thing and like their motivations, and obviously that like Khonshu is the right one, like because if you haven't read Civil War II, people, that
No,
piece of shit
no, it's
story,
exactly Civil War II when you think about
it
it. Because,
is.
like, I understand, we want to prevent crimes. Like, I don't think there's anyone who's going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
But I also think, like, killing people before they do anything bad is also objectively something people don't agree with.
Very
Exactly.
true. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Also, I'm not sure if they explained it in the show, but what's with the whole glass in his feet thing?
I don't know. They
I
never.
imagine it's like a self-punishment thing, but I don't
So he's
know.
like a BDSM kind of
He's
guy.
like, yeah, he's like,
Into
I'm
that
doing
kinky
this for
shit.
my goddess.
Oh,
I'm
so
hurting
it is
myself for you.
BDSM.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically,
Understandable.
I'm hurting myself for you. Yeah. I don't know. It's yeah, it was some weird shit. But I did think that Ethan Hawke did a good job of just playing like essentially just a cult leader. From what I heard, he said that I don't know if you know the cult leader from Waco, Texas. You know what I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know the name.
I don't remember his name, but he said he had him as an influence. But yeah, no, I think he did a great job because especially when he interacts with Steven in the first like episodes, like even though like this guy has like kind of bad intentions, and obviously we see him like kill that old lady, in the beginning and all that stuff.
She deserved it.
He tries his best to exactly. He tries his best to like he wants to like he can tell he wants to help people and wants to like he wants to help people and like especially when he talks with Steven, be like,
Except for
oh
that
no,
old lady.
except for that old lady. But he's
See,
like
I'm going to argue with that point just a little bit. I
yeah
got the impression from, I think it was like episode 4 or whatever, where he's talking to like Concho's like statue or whatever.
yeah.
That the helping people is just a front, and this is just another way for him to commit violence and not get punished for it. That's how I took it.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe that.
I can believe that as well.
I like that.
Yeah, but I think Ethan Hawke, I liked his character. He was a very interesting character, even though some like I don't know. I feel like there have to have been more to him than just spiting Khonshu. Know what I mean? Like I wish they would have fleshed out. Like I would have liked a flashback sequence of him as because and it was revealed that like he was the previous avatar for Khonshu at the time. So I want him to show not tell like why he hates Khonshu so much. I wish they did more of that. But yeah, I liked Ethan Hawke in the role. I think he did a good job with what we saw of him. Yeah, who else was in this show? I gotta remember. Layla. I love Layla. Layla's wifey. Shout out to May Kalami for doing a good job. Even though I do wish that again, thing is like my problem with the show is like I don't think 6 episodes was enough. We needed like at least 8. These are solid 8 to like flesh more things out, because we obviously we figure out they're like, oh yeah, Layla is Mark's wife. And also that that Layla's dad was an archaeologist looking for Ahmed's tomb or whatever, and like, but we don't really get to see much of her character. But like I do like how she grows within the show in terms of like interacting with Mark and Steven, them finding the temple to Ahmet's tomb or whatever. They get the statue, her kicking ass, especially at the end. But yeah, I don't know. I think she was a cool character, and I want to see more of her. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with her in the future. But I wish we got some more of that foundation to make us like I just want to know more. I want to know more about her. So I don't know what your thoughts on Layla was, guys, in the show.
I kind of agree in certain aspects. I think overall, at least for me, she was just fine. I think, like you said, she needs to be fleshed out more because to me, she's still like a little bit of a generic like wife sidekick kind of character.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is going slightly on a tangent.
Yeah.
And this is spoilers again.
Go off.
Her costume at the end, when she becomes, I think it's Scarlet Scarab, right?
Scarlet Scarab, yeah.
I like the wings on it, but I think it's just something about the like costume material I don't like because it just kind of looks like a Discount Eternals costume.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Okay, hold on.
that. Honestly, it reminded me too much of Falcon. I didn't like it.
I have it up here actually. Okay, I just completely I like this costume a lot. I like the bronze copper look with the white and all that stuff, and I like the blades and the wings. Whew. Oh man,
I think it looks better there in that still, but in action, I something about it. And again, I think it's more like the material than like the design itself. Just looks a little off to me.
I don't know. I think it looks. I thought it looked pretty good. I was genuinely surprised. I had no idea who the Scarlet Scarab was. Obviously, like they didn't know. They didn't think. Obviously, they knew that we didn't know either because this is obviously they're gonna change stuff around, which is great. But I like the fact that like we kind of see her grow into this a potential not just partner like romantically for Mark, but like a actual partner with him as Moon Knight. I think it's really cool. I like the costume. I like the costume. It's cool. Like and the blades and the. But my problem is though, like when we get that end fight at the end, and listen, man, I loved that fight at the end. But there was some because they were focusing a lot on Mark, which I mean you're supposed to, and Steven, but like we didn't get to see her like use the swords a lot. Know what I mean? Like because they would cut more to Mark and Steven than her as well. But
well, I mean, it is his show.
It is a show, but you can't just show her with the awesome blades and we only see like a few cuts of her using them. Know what I mean? But that's just me. But I wish we got more of the character, in this. But yeah, that's just me. But like, so what are your thoughts on Khonshu in this? People, what are your thoughts on Khonshu?
I like Khonshu. I like how he talks with his like beak a little bit, like just moves up and down. Because he doesn't have lips.
He doesn't have lips.
Yes. And that's his. I also like how it's not portrayed as like he's like the good guy, He's kind of like he's kind of a bad guy. He's kind of the guy we're definitely not rooting for.
Yeah. Rebecca, what do you have to say? I have a couple things to say. I'll Khonshu.
I like Khonshu, especially like as like a character design like concept kind of thing, I think the design's really cool. I mean, like Christian said, he's like kind of an asshole. But like ultimately he does want to like protect people. He also wants to kill people who like, do bad things. I think he's like probably one of the more interesting characters on the show because of that.
For sure. I'll say this. I like Khonshu. Especially love him towards the end because he's the character he's supposed to be. I do like in his introduction how much he hates Steven and how he views him as a parasite. I love that interaction. I love his interaction with Mark and how he's baiting Mark because in the show the reason why Mark continues to be Moon Knight and leaves Layla is because Khonshu tells him that I want Layla to be my next avatar. So you gotta do my shit. You gotta do my shit, or else she's gonna be next. Know what I mean? I thought it was really cool. Because in the comics, Khonshu is a manipulator. He loves to mess with Mark a lot. And Like, there's a reason I said this in the podcast I was doing before we started this one. It was the reason the like people think, oh, like, who's Moon Knight's arch nemesis? And the interesting thing about that is that Moon Knight's arch nemesis is the god that he serves. Khonshu is his biggest villain. You know, I think it's like an interesting angle with the character. Especially that ending, man. I loved that ending. With him when we get the reveal of Jake Lockley. You know, the third personality.
The Latino one, yes,
exactly.
Those damn Latinos, always so evil.
I love the fact that, you know, throughout, like, when we get that review, it's like, oh, like, the fact that Mark thought that I wanted his wife. When you really, I thought this too, when he said, like, oh, I want Layla, I'm like, why though? Like, what does Layla have to really offer? You know, like, I'm big serious. Like, what is she like? I mean, she got skills, but like, what makes Khonshu want her to be her next his next avatar? But then obviously, like, that was the point to keep Mark on his strings. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's Khonshu. That's how Khonshu is in the comics. He's a dick. Like, you know, he's a selfish dick, and he likes to use people to meet his own own like goals and means. You know. Yeah, I loved that. I did like his kaiju fight when he fights Ahmet at the end. I thought it was really cool. Even though some of it doesn't make any sense, because the way they kind of portrayed him in throughout the shows, that like, how is he like? Because in that fight he was very tangible and like wrecking stuff, like buildings and that stuff. But in the beginning of the show, he only make like wind move and stuff. So like, how did he get this beefed up? Like, there's some plot holes here, but it was still cool though. Like, you know, but yeah, no, I liked Khonshu in this. I thought it was really cool. And especially towards the end, man, I love him in the suit, which is like straight out of the comics. I love that look for Khonshu when he's in the white suit. Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that ending makes me think that the second season is probably going to have more of that like psychological element. Because honestly, like I said, I haven't read Moon Knight. I just like know about it. But I was surprised how hard they leaned into the supernatural stuff in this.
So was I. That was I was like, okay, that's why I'm like, this is different, but this is not how I would do it. Because what makes Moon Knight interesting is the character study, the psychological aspect. But like, I'm not saying take out the supernatural stuff. I mean, I prefer there to be supernatural elements with Moon Knight, not like the sole focus. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, what other characters? I mean, I will say this, right? We'll go with this. What was your favorite episode out of all of them?
Probably, I think it was 5, the like flashback
5.
episode.
For me, it was definitely 5, 100%.
Is that the one where like they're in the insane asylum?
Yeah, where 5 was where he was. Yeah, when he was in the asylum, but also like he was in the Jihad, the afterlife with Steven, and we meet Tawaret, the Egyptian god. I think she's the goddess of like fertility, women, children, and rebirth.
The hippo.
The hippo, yeah, the hippopotamus. I loved her. I thought she was great.
She was so cute.
Yeah, she's the one that you want to get a hug from. You feel like she gives like great hugs.
Yeah, episode 5 was definitely my favorite, just because that character study was so well done. Like, I think it was like, that's what I wanted the show to focus on, like, throughout, you know, like that character study between, like, you know, Mark and, like, you know, his tragic past with, you know, like, obviously, like, spoilers, people, if you're not reading the thing below. I loved the fact that, you know, they mentioned that, hey, Mark had a brother named Randall, which is a thing in the comics. He died. While I think in the show they were playing in the cave and there was some water during some rain, and I think his brother drowned. And you know, his mother didn't take it very well and literally blamed
she
Mark.
was a real asshole about it.
Yeah. And blamed Mark for it, which is like, you know, what you shouldn't do as a parent. Because he's a child, it wasn't his fault.
Where were you, mother?
Yeah.
Just saying, you had one job. Not let the kids die, and you know what happened?
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's her fault, but it's definitely not hers.
And then, you know, her blaming him led to her not just neglecting, but also like really like abusing Mark, which is what caused the DID, which is how Steve. Like, I love the fact that Steve, like, I like the fact that, like, you know, that even though it bothered me the fact like why didn't they address that Steven wasn't real earlier in the show, but then when I did some research involving DID, not just for the show because I was for reasons because I was bored, and the fact that like because DID used to be considered like it's just like these certain aspects these certain aspects are like taking shape, but like they're aspects of a whole. But the reality is that with DID, they're not just like fragments of an individual. They're also in their own individuals themselves, like they're their own identities. That's why the name changed, and it's like, how do you convince a person that they're not real? Like, how do you tell someone that? So I
Trust.
liked how they revealed it that way, like it was right in his face, and like, yeah, you're technically not real, like you're not the dominant
I
you're not
was
the
I
dominant
was
being.
kind of hoping Steven was gonna be the dominant being. Kind of
Really,
disappointed as Mark. Yeah, I like Steven more.
I like them both equally, but granted, like I knew it wasn't Steven because I read comics. So,
Fair enough.
but like I liked that aspect of it, and the fact that like Steven's role, because when you have DID, like all the identities that you envelop have roles to protect the individual. Was the fact that like he's supposed to protect Mark from the abuse, which I thought was very tragic and just like damn, I liked how it was done. I liked how they did it with the episode. Yeah, but I wish more of that character study was done throughout the whole thing. But I loved the episode as a whole. I loved that episode a lot. And the whole hearts thing. I thought they were gonna reveal Jake then, but I did like how they made it a post credit scene.
They did a little bit.
They did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, which I
With
like.
with the sarcophagus, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think one thing that also I thought was really cool about the episode was that like what Mark said, that like the moment that because Mark and Steven weren't aware of each other, and that's kind of how DID works. Like not all the personalities are aware. Some personalities are aware of each other, and some personalities aren't. And the fact that like what made their lives bleed into each other was the fact that when his mother died, and he just couldn't go inside to the funeral, like the wake funeral, wherever the hell it was, he couldn't stomach it, and that's when he was just like that's when Steven became more apparent, and their lives started to blend into each other. I liked that a lot. That was cool. Yeah, there was some cool stuff, man, in that episode. The Khonshu Temple, bro, from dude. Shout out the comics. I loved that. So good. Yeah. I don't know what else did you all like about the episode that you want to just mention real quick?
I think you pretty much covered it all. Like I think the emotions of it is kind of like you said, like the most interesting part of the series, and I like that kind of stuff to like chew on like after an episode and think about,
Yeah.
So I think the character work is really what makes it stand out as the strongest, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Christian, anything to say on episode 5? Nah.
Hippo lady, best lady.
Hippo lady, best lady.
Yes, best out of all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm like a little disappointed that the other like gods in this series, like you never see them as like
you never see them
like shitty avatars.
Yeah, like the council that's supposed to decide everyone's fate got their asses clapped.
Also, I really had a laugh the last episode when what's his name, the bad guy, like breaks into the temple, and they're like, "Oh my god, who would try and release Amr?" Like they were
so bad
2 episodes before.
Yeah, like that was one of the biggest problems with the show. Was just like, why are the gods just so whack in this? Like,
like I get the point that they don't care, but I just felt like that plot point was so weak.
Yeah, especially like to go back. I think it was episode 3, the trial episode where like they have Haro in the temple, and then they just completely believe him that he's not doing anything wrong. When like they could have looked into it more. You know what I mean? Like if Khonshu had to change the sky to get them all together, it had to have been important, Like, but they're just like, oh no,
Haro. Oh, it's fucking Khonshu, of course. He fucking does that all the time.
Exactly.
He'll go away. Yeah.
And like they're just like, oh yeah, but Khonshu, your avatar's sick. Obviously, Haro's in the right here. And I'm just like, that's not what? Like these guys are dumb. Like, is it, So yeah, that was bad. Like that was one of the worst parts of that episode was the courtroom. But everything else about the episode was cool. Episode 3. But yeah, let's talk about I don't know that episode 6 because because even though this is a Moon Knight overall review, but like I want to talk, episodes 5 and 6 were the best episodes to me. I loved and 1, but like episode 6 was nuts. This man coming back from the dead, that was cool. Obviously, Tawaret being Layla's avatar, no, Layla being Tawaret's avatar and becoming like the Scarlet Scarab, that was really cool. Yeah. Also, did you guys just real quick, just like a side tangent? The living in the Marvel universe must suck because like all this crazy shit's just happening all the time, and like people's souls are being snatched out their bodies and just like
yeah, and everyone's just kind of cool with it. They act like it's the first time this happened.
Yeah,
like.
And like the constellations are being like rewounded, and which is obviously one of my favorite scenes of the whole show. I love that scene a lot.
It did look very nice, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, it must suck living in the MCU. I would never want to live there, man. Terrible. But yeah, just to get back on it, I loved. What do y'all thought of like that fight scene where we see like obviously we see Layla in her fine self with the Scarlet Scarab outfit. We see Mark and Steven now like more comfortable with each other. I loved Mr. Knight, bro. Mr. Knight whooping so much ass because
I like how Moon Knight and Mr. Knight, like one's long range and the other one short range, with like the clubs and like fucking throwy shit.
Yeah,
their primary weapons.
Yeah, and I love
cool. Like they pick up for one another's.
Yeah, like I liked how because obviously like Steven, he was the fumbling idiot when he was Mr. Knight, but the fact like he was a lot more comfortable with himself and like he got the sticks and just went in. He can, to use English terms, that man can scrap, man. Oh my god, I loved it because Mr. Knight in the comics, he's a badass. Like he's a bona fide badass. Like I was happy that we finally got to see that in the show. I lost it. Okay, I'll say this. I lost it when we see this man punch Harrow in the face, dust off the jacket, brush off, and then he gets yeeted into the alley. Then we see Moon Knight, we see a grappling hook, and then we see he switches back to Moon Knight and kicks him. I was like, what? Let's go. Even though like they're going more supernatural with the character, I like how they can switch back and forth like that. I think it's like really cool, So yeah, I don't know. And then obviously the ending, where we see them trap Amit in Harrow's body. I don't know what we thought about that. Like, the thing is, like, I thought, in that scene, it confused me because you see like it pan around, and then we see like I thought we saw the other gods just join in at the last minute, but they were just statues. I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, they seal Ahmet, which I mean, what are y'all thoughts on that? Like, I thought it was a pretty quick solution. I don't know. I thought it would kind of like.
I guess considering they like released her and contained her in the same episode.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah, they released Ahmed and stuff, but actually no. Before that, Harrow looked like he was gonna win. Then we see him black out, Mark black out for a second, and then we just see Harrow just like on the ground, just knocked. And obviously that was due to Jake, which thing is like low key. I love how they've been doing Jake in this. Like even though it's been like a slow build, like if you think about it, we've been seeing Jake low key throughout almost every episode of the show. Like if you rewind episode 1, Jake was the one that asked the girl out to dinner to get some steak because Mark didn't do it because he was married, obviously. Steven didn't do it because he's vegan. That had to have been Jake. When we saw Mark black out the first time, where we see that him like he has like blood on his fists and like there's bodies everywhere, that wasn't Mark. That wasn't Steven. That was Jake. Like they've been slowly teasing Jake throughout, and that like he's like as him being like the most dangerous one. And
damn, Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, man,
really it's bastard.
And then it's like it threw me off because in the comics, like Jake he's the cab driver. His role is just to get info like on the streets, and to get street knowledge and all that stuff for Moon Knight to use. But then I didn't know this in the run. I think it was after Jeff Lemire's run. I didn't read it because Jeff Lemire got me bricked up, man. That run was amazing. But they changed Jake to be more deranged in that one and more violent and more psychotic. So I guess they're going that route in this one. But yeah, man, I don't know. What are so like that post credit scene where we actually like see Jake speaking Spanish, which is like not what the character does, but I'm fine with it, you know. Yeah. What do you? I think. What do you think? Like the potential with this reveal, you know, with Jake moving forward with the show.
Of course, he spoke Spanish. Everyone knows Latinos are evil. Evil. Yeah. Actually, that reminded me. Just to backtrack a little bit. Why did they send that big bad guy into the insane asylum instead of prison?
I mean, he thinks that an Egyptian he worships an Egyptian god.
Right.
I mean, he sounds a little cuckoo. Like
Does sound a little bit cuckoo, but like
that's why that would make also the same reason would also apply to Mark if
so
he
much
said,
it's so much easier for his disciples to break him out though. Hence them murdering him really quickly, I guess, before his disciples could get to him.
Yeah,
I don't know. Feels like a bit of a plot hole for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you're a cult leader, you like who believes what he believes, I think that would be a nice place to put him.
I feel like prison
and
is where we usually put most
prison.
of our cult leaders. Most of them, at least.
Also prison, but I get you. But yeah, man, I love how they did it. I love how they did the ending. I thought the post credit scene was well. Granted, like the ending was them like once they Khonshu frees him, quote unquote, and he wakes up back in his apartment, and that kind of jarred me. I was like, that's it, and then like the credits roll. I was like, what? And then they do the whole Jake thing. But yeah, I love the post credits. That's my favorite part of the whole show. Actually, is the post credit scene, because if they do a season 2, which again it's in talks right now, if they're going to do that, because
I don't see them not doing a season 2.
Yeah, because like
I agree with Rebecca.
This is a setup. Like it acts as a setup. You know what I mean? It doesn't act like just like a concrete ending. Like season 2, man. This because with Jake now this changes things because Jake is the most dangerous one out of the two, and if you think, and obviously Khonshu revealed that like he doesn't want Layla, he wants Jake because Jake loves to kill people and is compliant. He's subservient. He doesn't question anything. He just likes to do what he's told. He's basically an assassin. He's an assassin is what Jake is, which makes him the perfect candidate for Khonshu. I think what I would love to see, and this opens up so many doors, like season 2, not only is Khonshu gonna be the villain, but like Mark just is the biggest villain that is gonna be Moon Knight season 2 is Mark, and if you think about it, like Steven is Mark's like nice, like lovable, like hopeful good side. Mark is just Mark is the neutral, like he's the good and he's the bad. And then Jake is just the bad. Like he's everything. He's Mark's dark side. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be a very interesting angle to go off of. Like he's gonna be the villain of the season, and Mark's not good. Mark and Steven don't know it, because they think because Khonshu again, which is what makes Khonshu so interesting. Khonshu made Steven made Mark think that he freed him, right? So like that's gonna be such a cool angle to take, with the future episodes.
Season 2, I guarantee there's gonna be a punching yourself scene in there.
Yeah, probably.
Not a fraction of a doubt.
Probably, yeah. Like my theory going into it is that like I hope because like Grant, I want that dark gritty Moon Knight, that vigilante Moon Knight. I would love to be like, yo, like maybe Mark and Steven actually like being a vigilante, like doing good, after this whole adventure that they've had. And they make their own like Mr. Knight, Moon Knight costumes, but like obviously they can't transform into them, so they have to like actually physically put them on. So like every time they switch, you have to like, okay, time to be Mr. Knight. It just dresses up, all that stuff. So like I would like to have like we see like them be like a vigilante type deal. So now we get to go more like Marvel Netflix Daredevil territory where it's more grounded and all that stuff. but at the same time, like Khonshu's still pulling the strings, and also there's Jake to worry about, right? So I think that'd be a really cool angle to take. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
I'd like to see Jake as at least some kind of not protagonist, antagonist. You know, um, I'm not sure how exactly they're gonna do it.
Just
Like I
quit
said, I'm
punching
hoping
yourself.
they take.
Guarantee
Well,
it. Guarantee
outside
it.
of that, I mean,
Okay. All right. Outside of that.
like I said earlier, I think they're probably going to take a more like psychological
Mhm.
spin for the season versus like adventure because I'm
Yeah.
not really sure how that's going to work as
Yeah,
another.
you can't do Moon Knight as an
Yeah.
adventure no more. You tried it. It was a nice experiment. Now do Moon Knight right.
Yeah.
In some
I agree with
ways,
Rebecca.
in some ways, this season feels kind of like build up for season 2.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
I don't know. To me, origins aren't super interesting. I think a lot of time they're kind of boring. So I'm more interested in what's going to happen next versus what just happened.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a setup. This the whole season is the origin of the character. So now after revealing this angle, now they can go to more darker territory. Because personally, I don't want this man on the Avengers. He doesn't need to be on the Avengers. It would be kind of strange because he's Avengers because he's a murderer technically.
I don't think that he's going to touch anything.
Yeah.
Other superheroes.
Yeah, he's gonna be more darker side of the Marvel Universe, more Midnight Sun territory with Blade and all them. So,
possibly Deadpool.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about Deadpool, but he's more like darker supernatural type of situation.
I still don't know if it would go like Daredevil kind of gritty. I still think it's going to be that kind of sanitized Marvel grit. I mean, they got a little grittier with Doctor Strange, which I know you haven't seen.
Yeah.
But
disappointing.
I just feel like it would be a weird tonal shift from this first season to go full like grim dark.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, but like, listen, man, Disney, stop being pussies and just do it. Like, come on, just do it. But yeah, I'm liking this new direction. We'll see if they get a season 2. We don't know. We don't know what the whole deal is with how they're structuring the show. But yeah, man. So what would you give Moon Knight out of? You want to do 7 scale? Yeah, 7 scale.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta do some conversions.
Yeah, word.
5.8 out of 7 moons.
Moons. Okay.
Moons, yes.
Alrighty. All right. I gotta, because like if you want me to, I think it's like I don't. Well, Rebecca, can you convert for me? Because I want to do math. For me, this show is probably like a 7. Obviously, from things like what I said before, this is not how I would do a Moon Knight show. It's very heavy on the supernatural stuff, which I mean is fine, but it's just not the character. It's not how I grew up with the character. There are some plot holes in this show from things that just don't make any sense. But I do like the character study. I do like the villain. I do like the performances with Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke and May Kalamaui. I like how I like this side of the Marvel universe that they're taking with the Egyptian god aspect type of thing. Listen, I want more Taweret. I like that character. She's great. But yeah, I really hope because it gets me worried the fact that that if they're gonna like hold their punches with with Moon Knight, it makes me worried about Blade, because I'm not out here trying to see PG-13 Blade. No. But listen, this is a good start for the character, and I just hope they pack it in more with the dark grittiness for the next season, because Jake's a killer, dude. Like, he kills people. Like he didn't shy away from that. So it's a good start, but I'm gonna give it like a 7, like a 6.5, 7. So
Out of 7 or out of 10?
out of 10. Sorry, 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, so that's about 5 out of 7 moons.
Yeah, okay,
5 out of
7
7
moons.
moons.
All right, Rebecca, what would you give Moon Knight?
Probably similar to you, either a 5 or a 5.5 out of 7.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I liked it. It still has a couple of problems with the plot. But overall, I think it's an enjoyable show, and like I said, I'm excited to see what they do with it next.
Word, for sure. Alrighty, so then no other thoughts, so we can just move on. All right, so people, the next topic, after this review, so a thingy happened. So there's some news that happened this week. Obviously, we know
Ooh, what thingy?
that what thingy? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm happy you asked, Christian.
You're welcome that I asked.
Yeah, so there's a situation that happened. So obviously we know that Fantastic Four is happening within Marvel in the MCU. We're getting Fantastic Four in the next I don't know how many years.
Wait, Mikey, real quick, do we have a release window for when that was supposed to come out?
I think it's still. I don't think that there's still a time. I don't think there's still a date for that. Actually, I assume they just said it was happening. I don't think they had a release date. I would assume maybe 2023, 2024, maybe. That's probably the case with it. Yeah. So I have no. I think it's still undecided right now. But it's still
after this news, it probably will be.
Yeah, it probably will be. But yeah, so right now the big news right now is that the director Jon Watts, who's known for obviously with the new Spider-Man trilogy, so Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, is he was put on to direct the Fantastic Four for the MCU, and he has left. He didn't. And then is like I got the Screen Rant, now the Deadline article right here, describing it, but yeah, basically like he just out and dipped. I'm trying to find the reason why. And I'm not really sure the reason why he did. I'm looking at there's not really much info to go around. I think they have publicly said like he's probably said the reason why he left. But yeah, like he just decided to leave. He's gone. So right now there's no director for the Fantastic Four movie. So yeah, what were your thoughts on this, guys? On this bit of news?
I mean, obviously, they're gonna find a new director at some point if they still want to make this movie. My guess is they will. That's all I can say. If you've seen some recent Marvel things, you might have some more reason to believe, yeah, they're gonna continue with Fantastic Four. I don't know who they would choose. I imagine Fantastic Four, it's going to be more of a like family, I don't know about campy, but like happy, not as serious kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really sure just off the top of my head who would be like a good fit for that. And it would probably be someone who has a relationship with Disney.
Exactly. Yeah. Wait, I'll read this bit of the article here. It said so it said both Watts and Marvel confirmed his exit and said that it is amicable. Said Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios, and Louis Desposito, co-president of Marvel Studios, Despacito, said that collaborating with Jon on the Spider-Man films has been a true pleasure. We're looking forward to continuing our work with him to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU, but understand and are supportive of his reasons for stepping away. We're optimistic that we'll have the opportunity to work together again at some point down the road. And then Watts said that making 3 Spider-Man films was an incredible and life-changing experience for me. I'm eternally grateful to have been a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for 7 years. I'm hopeful we'll work together again, and I can't wait to see the amazing vision for Fantastic Four brought to life. So yeah, like they haven't really said the exact reason for why he left, but like it's just that he's leaving and that hopefully he'll work with Marvel again sometime in the future. But honestly, yeah,
he could just be marveled out for now. He just came off of 3 Spider-Man movies.
That's true. That's true. Christian, you have anything to say? I have something to say about it, but nothing really. Have nothing.
Nah, no thoughts. Head empty. You know how it is.
Got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say this though, that because originally, before it was announced that Jon Watts is gonna do it, Peyton Reed, who directed both Ant-Man and the Wasp, he was trying to like beg Kevin Feige for him to do Fantastic Four. He had like an idea and a pitch plan, and they were like, nope, nada, and they gave it to Jon Watts. So I'm curious to see if maybe if Kevin's thinking about, working with going with a new director, or maybe going back to maybe have faith in Peyton Reed to see if he can do it. I mean, I don't know, because Ant-Man and the Wasp wasn't that well received than the first Ant-Man. So yeah, I don't know. But I don't even have a choice. I don't even know who I'd want to direct this movie, to be honest with you. I just want someone good.
Understandable. Yeah, very understandable thing to want.
Like, probably, I think
I'm sure Disney also wants someone good.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Who directed the first Fantastic Four movies?
Tim Story, who is also known for directing the 2018 the beloved 2019 hit the third Shaft movie, which I love. So and Tim Story is a very he's a very like meh director. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He makes very meh movies. He's known for doing Ride Along and Ride Along 2 as well as Think Like a Man 1 and 2. And he did Tom and Jerry. Oh, like the new Tom and Jerry that came out last year. Ugh.
I'm not saying I want him. I was just wondering who did that.
Yeah.
Who did that?
Yeah.
Who did that atrocity?
I think those movies get more hate than they probably deserve, though.
Yeah, for sure. No, I do think that the first one is very. Yeah, they're
Okay.
I actually like the first one.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Second
definitely
one,
a movie from the 2000s.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah, I think the second one is definitely, like, as a kid I loved it, and as an adult I can see why. It's not great, but listen, man, they did Super Scroll Johnny Storm, bro. Come on, that was kind of funny.
Part of me like wonders if Sam Raimi would do it, because he's into like camp.
Yeah, I honestly, that would actually be a good choice.
I'd be a little surprised if he's not like jumping on it, because I feel like that would be up his alley. Maybe he doesn't like Fantastic Four. I don't know.
I actually have an article up here. There's an article from I don't like BuzzFeed as a source, but we're gonna just use them for now.
Yeah, because it makes your point. Anytime a website makes your point,
but there's
the finest of resources here.
Yeah, but granted, this isn't like a fact thing, but it's like they're suggesting, but like 10 directors that they think could helm the Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four movie.
That's such a BuzzFeed
Wait, what year
title.
was this?
This is recent. Isn't like posted an hour ago. Like
literally. That's pretty recent.
Okay.
So they got number 10 is Gareth Evans.
Number 10.
Which I don't think is a good choice, because if you don't know who Gareth Evans is, and if you should know who he is. Oh, Gareth Edwards. Sorry, is it Gareth Edwards or Gareth Evans?
Because it doesn't have a V.
No, because it's not Gareth Evans. It's Gareth Edwards. I get Gareth Evans is another director. I always get him very confused.
I got you.
Because Gareth Evans is the guy who directed The Raid, and that's not. I don't want a violent ass Fantastic Four movie.
You don't want a gritty Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah. But Gareth Edwards did Rogue One, and he did 2014 Godzilla.
I feel like he would be a really weird choice for Fantastic Four.
Yeah. What else did he do? I'm actually trying to look up, because I know the name, but like I'm trying to. Yeah, he did Rogue One. He did the movie Monsters. The movie Monsters actually is a pretty good movie.
Maybe we should just like scroll down the list before we really dig into these guys.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. So Gareth Edwards, not Gareth Evans. Number 10. Number 9, Justin Lin, who was recently known for doing the last I think 6 Fast and Furious movies. Yeah. Justin Lin, and I think he did Crazy Rich Asians as well. Number 8, Colin Trevorrow. Never heard of this guy.
I'm guessing he's the Jurassic World guy.
Well, what makes you
What
say
made-
that,
yeah, what gave it
Rebecca?
away?
Just a hunch.
Just a hunch, just a
Yeah.
feeling.
Number 7.
Ooh,
Bryce-
sorry.
Bryce
I just
Dallas
saw Rise of Skywalker in those credits there. It's like,
Yeah. Number 7 is Bryce Dallas Howard. I didn't even know she directs movies.
I think she did a few episodes of The Mandalorian.
Did she now?
I'm
That's
pretty
actually-
sure.
Well, we'll go into it. We'll go into it. Number 6, Ryan Johnson. I actually know. Yeah, this guy.
What did he do?
Knives
He did
Out and The
Looper.
Last
He did
Jedi.
Looper.
Ooh,
Looper's
I like
amazing.
Knives Out.
He did.
Looper?
Yeah, he did Knives Out. He unfortunately did The Last Jedi.
Oh.
Ugh.
Well, I do like Knives Out.
Yeah, he did. And then he also did Knives Out. He did Looper. I love Looper. That movie's amazing.
I feel like he's a hit or miss director.
Yeah, for sure. Like I can't like from what he's done, I can't see him as number 5. Oh, John Krasinski.
I trust him.
No.
Yeah, why not? Look at it. Look at that face.
Look at that man.
Yeah, how can you say
Number
no
5,
to him?
John
I am
Krasinski.
tired of seeing him.
Really?
I didn't like A Quiet Place. I didn't bother with the second one.
I've-
I don't
fair
want to
enough.
see him anymore.
He will never die. He will always be a constant in your life, Rebecca.
The thing
You-
is, I liked A
Thing
Quiet
is-
Place. I didn't think A Quiet Place 1 was that bad. I liked it. I fell asleep during part 2. So
Everyone liked the first one. I did not like the first one when it came out.
I
okay.
never watched it.
Mm.
It doesn't sound like I'm missing out on anything, really. I'm assuming it's pretty quiet of a movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
What makes you say that, Christian? What makes you say that?
Just a hunch.
Yeah, so number 5, Krasinski. Number 4, Deborah Crow.
Ciao.
Ciao. Sorry, my
Thank you,
fault. It's
No reading comprehension.
yeah, my comprehension. Christian, like you can't read my comprehension.
You also
is-
can't read.
I also can't read.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deborah Chow. If she did Rise of Skywalker, that's unfortunate. Then number 3. Oh, Brad Bird. That would be fantastic. He
What
did
did
The Incredibles.
Oh.
That would actually work so well. Let's see. Number 2, Sam Raimi. And number 1, the Russo brothers. I mean,
Ooh, I don't know about that.
yeah, you don't want to milk the Russo brothers because they've done so much already.
Those poor guys. They're probably locked in a cage somewhere. And like
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse is poking them with a stick. It's like, where's the next movie coming out? Bring out the next movie.
Bring out the next movie.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mouse.
Yeah, they just have him at a guillotine being like, you better make another Marvel movie for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, from these directors, actually, I think Brad Bird would be a really good choice.
Does he
You
do
know?
live action though, or is he just animation?
That's my thing. Yeah, he did Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. That's actually my favorite Mission Impossible movie.
I haven't seen any of them.
That's not saying much. I didn't like the Mission Impossible movies.
I mean, he obviously did The Iron Giant. I don't know what
That I like.
Let me look up his filmography real quick because I don't think he did much live action. I think that's like only
You
live action.
had me at Iron Giant, Mikey. Give this man money. Make
Yeah.
him make more things. I demand it. I love the Iron
Ooh,
Giant.
but hold on. He also did. In terms of live action, he did Tomorrowland, and that movie I heard wasn't that great. Excuse me.
Yeah. But the other thing we got to remember too, some of the movies we're being hard on. Some of that's the writing more than it is directing,
Very
and it
true.
also depends how involved in the writing the directors are.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Brad Bird would be listen. I feel like he would be a nice, if they have faith in him, I think he'd do a good job. This Deborah Chow person, okay, well, it says she did some episodes of Mr. Robot. I mean, her Mr. Robot's really good. For The Walking Dead, whatever. Better Call Saul. I mean, I heard Better Call Saul is pretty good.
Better Call Saul. Yeah, I love Better Call Saul.
The Mandalorian. She also worked in creating episodes of Jessica Jones, which we're just going to do, and Iron Fist. But which season of Iron Fist? If it's season 1, that's bad. Season 2, that's fair. That gives me more. That gives me more confidence. And she's directing the entirety of Obi-Wan Kenobi right now. So I don't know. I mean, I don't see why they would choose her. Why she would be a good choice. I feel like she's just because she's on Disney's payroll. I feel like that's why.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't-
like I said, if they choose someone, it's probably going to be someone they're already working with.
That's true. Yeah. Sam Raimi, I mean, listen, I mean, Rebecca made a fair point that like he can do. There's some camp that he can do, because he's known for doing some camp in there and actually like respecting the material of the comics. I don't know. I think he can do a good job. I mean, listen, he's Sam Raimi. Come on now. I mean, but I feel like he's going in like he's digging the whole horror direction he's doing with Doctor Strange. So I don't know. It's up to him if he wants to do that type of change and do a more family, a superhero type family type deal. I mean, go for it. I mean, why not? Yeah. So let's see. I don't know who else. I mean, John Krasinski. Okay. The only reason why people are saying that is because people want him to play Reed Richards. Know what I mean? They want him to be Mr. Fantastic. So
Yeah.
Will. I don't care what you say. He's so definitely.
You want him? You want he's your preferred choice?
No.
If I had to take a guess, he's probably going to play Reed Richards at some point.
Okay. I mean, granted that people like also like they want Emily Blunt, his wife, to be Sue. Which is like, that's a fair point. I mean, Emily Blunt's a good actress, so I mean, like he's a good actor, I guess. She's a great actress. I mean, they're married. They got that chemistry going. So, but I mean, but with like A Quiet Place though, I don't know like how. Because I also feel like I watched something that comicbook.com did an interview with him. Someone asked him if he would do a Marvel movie. He said he's like probably not because like that's such that's such a high. He doesn't think he fits like the Marvel formula with his directing. You
don't think he'd ever be in a Marvel movie?
No, a Marvel movie, yes, but like directing a Marvel movie, that's a different story.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. So you do think he's gonna be in a Marvel movie?
Yeah, I could see him as Mr. Fantastic, but I'm just saying in terms of like the interview said like him directing a Marvel film, he's not sure of. Okay, cool. So I don't know. We'll see. Right? Thing is like, I love Looper. Underrated, best time travel movie ever. But then he did Last Jedi. That movie's garbage. I'm sorry, that movie's swamp juice. So I don't know. Nah. Bryce Dallas Howard. Let's see what they said about here. She said, yeah, she did. Yeah, you're right. Episodes of The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett. I mean, listen, if they want to take a chance on her, go ahead. I mean, what episodes did she do though? I don't know. So yeah, it depends on what episode she did. Then I'll have a better judge of her capabilities. Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like my best choice, Justin Lin. No, you no, nada, because he's been doing the Fast and Furious franchise since the 5th one. Man, poor man. You know what I mean, God. And the thing is, like they just sidetracked Kendon. He did some news. He left Fast X. He's not directing Fast X anymore due to some beef with Vin Diesel.
I'm convinced that Vin Diesel is like holding everyone in that movie like hostage.
Yeah, like
like me and some other friends were talking about this. Apparently, like him and The Rock, like
they beefed. They do
not get along.
Yeah, they beefed hard. Like it's really supposedly difficult to work with, but I don't want him touching this movie. I don't think he's that good of a director, So Gareth Edwards, I mean, Rogue One was a good movie. Godzilla the first one was all right. I don't know this. Right now my best bet. I mean, if you want to do Bryce Dallas Howard, go ahead. If you want to do Rian Johnson, I mean, listen, you can. Knives Out was good, so that saved him. John Krasinski, I mean, if he chooses to, I think that would be a nice challenge for him. Deborah Chow, sure. Okay. Brad Bird would be great, I think. But yet again, he hasn't done live action. Not much live action, but we'll listen. Maybe this might be a nice project for him. I think
if he was like working like in partnership with someone else, it might be okay.
Yeah, for sure. I think if he like co-directed or if he was
co-directed.
Yeah, that could balance it out. Sam Raimi, of course. Go ahead. Sam Raimi, you get the green light, buddy. You're Sam fucking Raimi. Come on now. No, they've suffered enough. I think the Russos need a break. They need a hard break,
Ooh,
Just a
you
vacation.
know who I feel like would do a good job, but would never do it in 1,000 years?
Who?
Mhm.
Steven Spielberg.
Steven
Really?
Spielberg?
Why'd you say
I
that?
feel because he does like the big like blockbuster like family movies. I feel like
Okay.
he could pull it off if he wanted to do it, which he would never do.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, what was his recent movie was
West Side Story, I
what's that
think.
story? And I heard that wasn't that great. So
I don't know. He might be too old for it now. I haven't seen it.
yeah. And also, do you think you want to do a comic book property?
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So
Like I said, I don't think he would do it ever in 1,000 years. I'm just saying if he wanted to do it, I think he could do it.
He's got the talent for it. He's got the credentials.
But I think someone with, like I said, the ability to do like family movies like that is what needs for Fantastic Four.
that's true. And who I don't know any other directors. I can't think off the top of my head that like is like known for being like a family type of director. You know, like I don't know. But yeah, listen, Sam Raimi I think would do a great job. I think, and Brad Bird, Sam Raimi, Brad Bird. Those are my top picks for that.
I just like Brad Bird.
Brad
Just
Bird.
Yeah.
I will say though, just to if anyone have any more thoughts before we just move on.
No,
probably not.
Man. We
say
beat this horse dead.
Yeah, I'll say this though. When they do Fantastic Four, I want them to look like this. I don't know if you've ever seen. This is Alex Ross. He did some concept art for a comic book pitch that he did, and I want he designed the suits to look more like flight jackets. Like I want this look for them, and this looks really cool. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that real quick. And I think, Alex Ross based this pitch off like a pop art type of vibe with the Fantastic Four. So I want to see if Brad Bird, I think that would be a nice thing that Brad Bird could do, like if we do like a pop art type of thing with Fantastic Four. I don't know. I just want these costumes. I just like these costumes. These costumes are dope.
I think they should do the Fantastic Four costumes where the 4 is like a boob window.
From the 90s?
Yeah, bring that back.
Yeah,
but like the thing's 4 is on his crotch area, so
he's got the dumb like helmet thing. Mikey, bring up the picture. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Like the special needs helmet.
If you want to know what we're talking about, go. I'll put in the link. The what the fuck how the 90s comic art podcast we did, because I put that shit in there and that was awful.
Wait. So the thing had a helmet at some point?
I'll find it. Hold on. Fantastic Four 90. Yeah, he had a helmet and like a gun. It was weird. Fantastic Four 90s.
This is the gritty Fantastic Four.
Oh my god.
It was really bad. It was really bad.
Metal mask thing? Jesus.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. I'll put it up. I found it. It's so bad. Yeah. Rebecca, so you want that? That's your pick?
Yeah. I think that would be a bold new direction.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Like, look at the thing, bro. Like, I mean, full screen. Like, why? Like, why do that? Like, that makes no sense. Oh man, the 90s. Oh god, like it's just
dark
so
days.
Dark days. But yeah, to move on, this is just like a pretty like lackluster topic. But like I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, so the Wonder Twins. There was a Wonder Twins movie that was announced. I think like last month, and obviously there was massive hype. Everyone wanted this movie to come out. You know, listen,
oh yeah, there definitely was. Yeah,
all 5 Wonder Twins fans out there were cheering.
They were creaming their khakis over this upcoming movie.
Yeah, man,
and I'm one of them. I can't fucking wait.
Everyone was freaking out. Everyone was creaming their shorts. You know what I mean? That there was
when that male Wonder Twin fucking turns into water or some liquid thing. Oh, it's gonna blow my mind.
Yeah, and the thing is like it was recently they casted KJ Apa from Riverdale. And I'm like, why would you give this man work? What's
wrong with him?
Have you watched Riverdale?
Yeah.
Maggie, that's a really low bar though. No one's like trying on that show.
That's true.
Or just shows up because they have to, because they're under contract.
Yeah, so they casted KJ Apper from Riverdale and Isabel May, who was on the show, the sitcom Young Sheldon, to play the Wonder Twins. I'm not even gonna remember their names because I don't care about them. And they announced this like a few weeks ago, and this week they announced that guess what? It's canceled.
Oh, thank Christ.
um,
I mean,
Wait,
oh
you might
no.
want to check your spelling on that.
oh yeah, listen, I never said I could spell right.
Mikey, you're having a real day.
Yeah,
Can't read, can't
I
spell.
can't read, I can't spell.
What's next?
We'll get you a dictionary for your birthday.
Yeah. Guess
We'll
what?
get you those activity books where they teach you how to spell.
No.
Rebecca, damn, like chill out. But yeah, they canceled it. And obviously this is a product of the the Discovery Warner Brothers Discovery merger that's been going around that happened. They're axing a lot of stuff because also they recently announced that like Batwoman and Legend of Tomorrow also got canceled as well. I mean, good riddance. But yeah, and the thing is like, yeah, what are your thoughts on this, guys? I know it's not really like much to talk about, but it happened. So
Dude, this is
Was
honestly
this supposed to be a
devastating
movie or
one.
like a CW special?
it was an HBO Max film.
Oh,
It was gonna be on HBO Max,
gross.
That's a weird choice
and it
for
was
something to come out now.
and it was greenlit in February. It was greenlit in February. That they're doing the Wonder Twins. It was gonna be on HBO Max. And in April 22, and in April they had the Discovery merger where AT&T sold the Warner Media to Discovery, obviously, which was great because AT&T was not doing a great job. And then obviously recently they announced that they now that the merger is happening and there's new management settling in, they canceled Wonder Twins. So yeah. Honestly, my opinion, good riddance. No, who really cared?
Devastated.
Besides
Man.
Christian.
So devastated.
Besides Christian, Wonder Twins aren't really characters I cared about. The only thing I mean, I don't even know much about them, honestly.
Humanity wasn't ready for a Wonder Twins movie.
Yeah.
How could you forget the iconic Wonder Twins? One can turn into any animal, and the other a
can turn
bucket
into
of
water.
water.
And they have a
Yes!
purple monkey.
Yes, the purple monkey named something that of course everyone knows the name of the purple monkey, so I won't even say it. Oh, such an iconic show.
Why are you so excited about this?
I don't know. Sorry. That just like brought back like memories of that like Flash episode where it's like Gorilla Grodd, or maybe it wasn't Flash,
Gorilla
maybe it was like
Grodd.
something else, but Gorilla Grodd, he finds like young Obama. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I remember that. No, it was Legends. It was Legends tomorrow. It was Legends. That was the Jesus Christ.
I feel like that lives like rent free in my mind.
It's hilarious. But yeah, I mean also like casting these two was just a weird choice. And the thing is like I knew that like Brian Michael Bendis had a recent run on the Wonder Twins that like no one read. And yeah, like I don't know why. Like this is what AT&T's like running Warner Brothers was a bad choice because like of all the characters to consider for a live action film, the Wonder Twins? Seriously?
If I had to guess, it was probably one of those like kind of meta, like supposed to be funny movies, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They were really scraping the bottom of the barrel of the superheroes on this one.
Like, come on, like we can't get a Vixen movie or a Green Arrow movie. You want the Wonder Twins? Like I don't. Team Arrow. Well, I don't.
TV show. We're never gonna get it a movie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So I don't know. Any thoughts on this before we move on? We're gonna talk about briefly. We're gonna briefly talk about Legends and Batwoman. But
move on. Are we? Do we have to?
I just briefly want to talk about it.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, but yeah. Also, just more news. I guess Legends and Batwoman are also canceled. Legends got canceled during its 7th season, and Batwoman was on season 3. Yeah.
How much Legends are they pumping out over there?
Dude, I stopped at season 6.
Season 6?
Yeah.
Man, you really waited a long time for it to get good.
I did. No, listen, man. Listen, I don't regret it because season 6 they brought Cisco back to perform the thong song, and it was amazing. Okay, but yeah,
Mikey will defend like anything terrible until afterwards and be like, "Nah, that sucked."
He loves everything until proven absolute trash.
Yeah. But yeah. So Legends got canceled season 7, Batwoman season 6, no season 3. I will say this though, Legend had a great start. The first 2 seasons were really good. I thought, and then it just went downhill from there. Especially when they killed off Captain Cold. That was strike 1. They brought Vixen in, but like it wasn't the Vixen that they brought in Arrow, which was like the one that was in canon. They brought the grandmother Vixen. That was strike 2. Strike 3 was when they killed off Martin Stein. So then Firestorm had to leave. I was done. But then I kept watching the show because they brought Constantine back, and I love Constantine. So, and even then they ruined him eventually. And I stopped at the beginning of season 6. I was like, season 6, watch 2 episodes, done. Then with Batwoman,
what's still running on CW? Is it just Flash at this point?
It's Flash somehow. Flash. I mean, if you want to count Superman and Lois and Stargirl,
I forgot about those.
Yeah, Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois actually looks kind of good.
No, Superman and Lois is great. It's Superman and Lois is really good. And Stargirl as well. But like people don't consider those CW shows because they're clearly DC Universe shows, but because they're so well made. But they just air on CW. Yeah. But like Batwoman, watched the first season, thought it was pretty solid. Then Ruby Rose left, and they recasted her with a new character. They brought the black girl in as the new Batwoman. I was like, this show just is meh. But then I actually watched this season. I didn't finish it because I'm like, this show is just unbearable. Yeah, I thought it was But like, I only watched the show because of Luke Fox, because they had Luke Fox become Batwing, and I love Luke Fox on that show. Like the actor, who plays him, like the suit. I think it's really cool. But yeah. That's all I gotta say about it. Like, I mean, listen, man. Discovery knows what they're doing. They know that they don't want no games with their DC universe. So I respect.
So do you think Flash is going to be next thing? Because people are really getting onto Flash isn't good train.
Actually, I heard that next season is his last season.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
And they're cutting it in half. It's not going to be like 22 episodes.
Thank God.
It's going to be like 10 or 10-ish, 12-ish episodes.
There's been a lot of filler.
Oh, dude. Listen,
There's only so much you can do with the guy who runs fast.
That's so true.
And the thing is, like, with the Flash, I stuck out till like season. What season? They're on 8 now. I stuck up to season 7.
Oh, come on, Mikey. Just stop watching bad things. You don't have to do it.
I couldn't stop.
Raise your standards a little bit.
I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop watching these shows, man.
They really made it easy for you to stop.
They did, yeah, because they made it easy. I did listen, man. Once they did the lightsabers with the Flash, I was done. Yeah. It was stupid, but yeah, right now those. I think only Superman and Lois, the Flash, and Stargirl. I think are the only shows, and then Superman and Lois is finishing up. Stargirl just had their second season. They're gonna have a third. But yeah, I mean, listen. CW apparently hasn't made any profit since its creation, so I mean,
but I think that's also like partially like a tax fraud thing.
Oh, really?
Something like that. Something with taxes.
Yeah. So it's like, do you think it's like that insurance thing? Like they get a lot of insurance, expecting it to flop, and then they get money for it.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know if that applies to TV shows.
I don't think it does. Now that I think about it.
I don't know, but listen, that's all I gotta say. Like these shows I'm surprised they didn't get canceled sooner. Rip Luke Fox, though I love that character in that show. He was like the only good part. Legends is just a mess. They ruin every character they touch. Brought Cisco back though. Love Cisco. Love the thong song. And I love the thong song and all that. But yeah. That's it. That's all I gotta say. So moving on. So lastly, this like the other thing. There's a Green Lantern movie coming out, an animated movie, from DC that just dropped yesterday. Y'all want to do like a quick reaction?
That's the title of it? Beware My Power?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to do like a quick reaction and we'll give our thoughts on it?
I can't wait for Ryan Reynolds to reprise his role. We all know he loved Green Lantern.
He clearly loved Green Lantern. Like
Very
that was
anxious to go back to that role.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, that was his pride and joy. That was his reason for living.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. But yeah, so here's the
You're not gonna get copyright strikes for this, are we?
Oh, we probably will, but I mean we don't make any money, so it's fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
All this work was for naught.
Yeah.
An hour and a half of streaming. Yeah, but go for it.
You didn't even skip the ad yet.
I did not. I gotta do that first, and then we'll get to it.
Damn. You're gonna have these people suffer with the ad with us.
Yes. So cool.
All right, that's the amount we're legally allowed to show.
Hey, intruder! Whoa!
You want me to skip every ad?
I have pointy ones too.
Look.
Who are you? How did you get a ring? My name is Jon Stewart, and if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. What the hell?
At last, I found you.
Jon Stewart of Earth.
What?
You possess singular will. Welcome to the Green Lantern Corps.
After years of bloody war, the Owen security net was disabled. Hal Jordan and millions of Thanagarians died that day. They will pay.
Well, she's fun.
Sinestro thrives on chaos and death.
Get ready for a fight. Annihilate them.
I've been up against that kind of barrier my whole life. It hasn't stopped me yet.
Coordinates set.
Let's go.
All right, so that was that. Yeah. So from that trailer, what do you think of it? What do you think of it?
I like the animation style. I don't know if you remember the like Batman movies, like the animated ones that came out a few years ago. They were all like part of the same series. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I do not like the style that they use for those, and they use those in like all the like Justice League Batman cartoons for a while.
Gotcha.
And, yeah, so I kind of like them going back to like the cartoonier style with like the bold outlines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Christian, what are your initial thoughts on this?
Kind of disappointed that they're going with the B superheroes. It's freaking Green Lantern, really? Hawk Girl, really? Martian Manhunter, okay, I guess.
What?
Fine.
Come on!
I don't care. I do not care about this roster.
You just want to be a basic bitch. I just want Superman and Batman.
No, I want someone good. I want someone that actually people give a shit about.
Christian wants Aquaman.
Of course.
You're goddamn right, I do. God, enough with this bullshit. When's Jason Momoa gonna come back and reprise his role? I need some Aquaman content.
Listen, man. Well, like, I'll say this. I agree with Rebecca because this is obviously the new reboot with the animated universe. After post-apocalypse war. So they're going more with that really cool, like bold colors, bold outline with the animation. I like it a lot because they did it with Superman Man of Tomorrow, which I thought was really good. and Justice Society World War II, which I thought was pretty good as well. So this is the next entry. Listen, man, I like how they're starting with Jon Stewart. Fuck Hal Jordan. And actually, the actor who voices him his actor's name is Aldous Hodge. He's playing Hawkman in Black Adam. So that I thought was really cool. So yeah, I like him as the voice. I like how they're not going with the main Justice Leaguers. They're going with my boy Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter, and Vixen. I love Vixen. Underrated character. We need more Vixen, okay? And plus, like in I remember everyone watched Justice League Unlimited. Her and John had a relationship in that series, in that animated show.
Vixen's the one that has animal powers, right?
Yeah, she has the totem that can like give her animal abilities. Yeah,
so unique.
Yeah, love that character.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a cool origin. I like how Hawk Girl's in this too. I mean, listen, I love Hawk Girl as well. Yeah, it's just a Jon Stewart origin. Why not? You know, I love it, and I like the animation style.
I think it'll be. I'm not a like Green Lantern fan, really.
Yeah.
Like he's fine. I don't like feel one way or another about him. How much of this is Justice League versus how much of this is Green Lantern?
True. That will. I think that will make it or break it. You know, because they have to have a nice balance. You know, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I mean, listen, DC always has bangers with their animated stuff. So
yeah, I need to get back into their animation. I was like just talking with a friend about this the other day because she was like, "What are the good like DC movies to watch?" And I'm like, "I haven't watched enough of them to tell you."
I mean, I got a list of a nice little.
Most of the ones I've seen have been the Batman ones.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think this is listen, I just like how they're going away from that other previous style because I don't like the long neck, wide torso style they had last time.
I just think it's like bland to look at.
Yeah.
You have nothing really for your eyes to look
at. And it affected Young Justice because the moment Invasion, not Invasion, the season, not season 3, when season 3 came out, after like it got canceled and brought back, it was on HBO Max. They adapted that style from the current animated universe in Young Justice, so it looked slightly different, and I didn't like that.
I didn't realize season 4 for that came out, and I still have yet to even touch it.
Oh, it's good.
I've been watching it. It's all right.
It's all right.
You're not missing out on much though.
But yeah, thumbs up, guys. Y'all gonna be checking this out? Green Lantern? No.
Me personally,
if someone asked me to watch this movie, I'll watch it, but I probably wouldn't watch it on my own.
Yeah, I agree with Rebecca. Also,
I'm gonna check it
not
out.
enough Aquaman. Like, come on.
Well, Christian, if you watch Justice Society World War II, which was the movie before this one, Aquaman is in it. So yeah,
that's tempting.
Yeah,
truly tempting.
Yeah. But I'm gonna check it out. I like Jon Stewart. I like Green Arrow. I like Vixen. I'm gonna check it out. Listen, I'm gonna check it out. This is what it is. What it is.
It's just Aquaman will work so well in space. Thousands of miles away from water.
That's so funny.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's that. Looks cool. We might check it out. We might not. Yeah. So it's a closing thing. Just to talk about. We're doing some recommendations. Anyone got any comic book or manga recommendation? Like, what are y'all reading? What do people reading recently?
I don't know if I'm reading anything that I could recommend right now.
Why is it bad? Is it cringe?
I just feel like there's like a lot of mid comics out right now.
It could be anything. It doesn't have to be something recent. I mean, I'm not reading anything right now that's recent.
I
don't know. I wasn't prepared for
it. I mean, Christian, you read anything? You read anything with any manga? Because I put manga. You're the manga guy.
I'm trying to think. I am reading. I'm still just reading My Hero, but everyone's not interested in My Hero anymore. What else am I reading? I know I'm reading something else.
If you can't think of anything, I know Mikey's got like a list of indies he's gonna go down.
You're right. I don't even know I'm trying that hard.
And the thing is, like, I kind of told Christian what I've been I've only been reading one thing as of late.
And what's that, Mike?
What's that? Rebecca, I'm glad you asked. The only book I've been reading right now, let me see. I'll pull up the image because I have an image already ready for it. The only book I've been reading season 8 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because I finished the show recently, and I just finished Angel yesterday. So now I'm reading. You know, because the season's continuing in the comics. So I'm reading season. I just started reading season 8. So that's why I'm. That's what I'm doing, and it's good. It's good shit. It's good shit. I love it. We may do some Buffy on this channel. Rebecca knows. We might do some not this version of Buffy, but another version of Buffy. But
Yes.
like
Spoilers, Mikey's trying to get me, someone who's never watched Buffy, to read the
to read Buffy.
Yeah, that's in character.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I've been reading as of late. I mean, mostly Buffy. Because I'm waiting for a lot of my series that I've been reading like every month to like come back, you know. So like Radiant Black is one, Crossover is one. I'm about to say Ultra Mega, but Ultra Mega we don't know when that book's coming back. But yeah, that's what I've been reading mostly. Yeah.
I forgot. I've been reading Saga. No,
Saga.
Yeah.
I haven't read. Remember, I told you I caught up with Saga. I caught up with everything up to like the newish. I haven't read the recent issues, so I gotta get on that. But what do you think of Saga so far?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Kind of leaves my heart a little bit empty because one of the main characters died. I'm not gonna spoil it for the people.
Mm-hmm.
But who? But
I think I know what you're talking about because I'm caught up, so I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
That's why I stopped reading it for a bit. I'm like, I don't want to face reality.
I miss said person's presence, and it destroys the wholesomeness a little bit. But I'm hoping it might get good in a couple more issues.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Buffy, My Hero Academia, Saga, which is like Saga's a must read. Like I think that's like quintessential indie comics right there. Yeah. I don't really have anything. I don't have anything else to add on. What's up?
Spy Family. Read Spy Family.
What is that?
It's about a spy and an assassin who pretend to be in a family together, and they adopt this girl who's a psychic. It's more of a slice of life / the occasional spy bullshit.
An anime just came out for it also.
Also that, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and the anime is already out for it. Either watch the anime or read the manga. Both pretty good.
Interesting. Actually, no, I lied. I also am reading something else. I keep.
Oh, God.
The next hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of the book Philadelphia at all?
I've heard of it. I haven't read it.
It does sound like it. You're right, Christian. It does sound like Philadelphia.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's book Philadelphia, and it's written by Rodney Barnes. It's basically just like this detective that gets a case and realizes that they're vampires in Philadelphia. And it's kind of like it's a nice little like it's a cool little horror book actually that I like really love. But yeah, Philadelphia by Rodney Barnes. Read that ish. It's good stuff. Yeah. Here's the cover. Yeah, Philadelphia for volume 1. Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't have anything else to add. So let's do like anyone have any final thoughts on that they want to address on everything we talked about? Moon Knight, Green Lantern, all that stuff.
Sign my petition to put Aquaman in a space movie, please. For the love of God. It's just not going to be good without him. What are they going to do? Not talk to fish? How ridiculous is that?
It's just like finding it's Finding Nemo. It's Nemo. It's Finding Nemo, but just with Aquaman.
Finding Nemo would have been so much better with Aquaman in it. What fools!
Yeah,
and that's all I have to add.
Got you. I mean, for me, I'm just gonna say Moon Knight was. I think it's a must. It could have been better, but I still think it's still a must watch from what they did with it. Green Lantern. I'm excited. I'm gonna watch that cartoon. Wonder Twins and Batwoman and Legends. Listen, good riddance, man. I mean, no one was watching those anymore. Hopefully Sam Raimi or Brad Bird do Fantastic Four. That'd be great. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all I gotta say. And also, obviously, rest in peace, George Perez, legend. So yeah, Rebecca, any closing thoughts you gotta say?
No, my brain's empty at this point in the night.
Okay, got you. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for the. Oh, I'll just close it out then. Thank you for the people that are watching this or will watch this. We appreciate it. We'll definitely be a lot more organized. Oh, this was a test episode. Let's just see if this would happen. We'll be a lot more organized if we do more of these. We're not trying to do these a lot. Maybe like once a month, I'd say. We're not gonna go too crazy with it.
Technically,
yeah.
this is probably our shortest TV show review.
That's true. Yeah. Trust me, if we ever do more of these, they're going to be a lot longer. But
this is a threat.
yeah, it's a threat. But yeah, this was a test because I didn't really have a lot of topics to talk about. But yeah. Thank you, Rebecca and Christian, for doing this with me. This was fun. Listen, it was a nice casual conversation. Let's talk about what's happening in comics and pop culture and all that stuff. We had Doctor Strange planned, but again, my dumbass hasn't seen it yet. So maybe next week or something, maybe I'll do like a review.
He
just
says
for that.
planned. We don't have anything planned. We
don't have anything planned.
Yeah.
That's what I
When he
said.
says planned, like right now, this is the first time we're ever hearing about this.
Well, I'm thinking about maybe doing it next week because I want to talk about that movie. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, guys, just
maybe some
comment,
cameos would come in the new movie.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, we'll see. So yeah, because we're missing 2 other people. But yeah, a comment, like, subscribe, people. We got some content coming, more books coming. Hopefully more of these discussions and stuff coming. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Christian, you have a question?
I got a question. Yeah,
it has to be Aquaman related.
Oh, it's not. Sorry,
it's not.
I could ask 2 questions. Though.
What's your closing question? So
okay, I guess I'll start off with Aquaman. What's your guys' favorite Aquaman thing? Mine's is Aquaman Brave and the Bold, where he's this fucking upbeat guy, but specifically that one episode where he's just depressed and wondering if he wants to be a superhero anymore. That's my favorite Aquaman thing. And yeah, I think that's a good question to close on. What's your guys' favorite Aquaman thing?
All right. Yeah, so answer that in the comments, people. If you really want.
I was asking you to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I know you do. How can you not?
I'll say the Aquaman movie because that movie's actually, I think, is good.
Wow. And Rebecca, what's your favorite Aquaman related piece of media?
Does it have to be media? I was gonna say I like when he talks to fish.
That counts. I'll allow the podcast.
Actually, I take that back. The Harley Quinn show Aquaman.
Okay, okay. No,
the slightly brown one. I like that one. The beached tanned blonde one.
Yeah,
my favorite. A quality Aquaman.
Okay. Well,
we could stop it now.
We can stop it out. All right, people. Thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, get on to
Peace.
Peace.